Good morning. Welcome back to Doodads. We are just back after 2 days of we recorded 2 days ago. Now we're recording again for you guys because Tom is going on vacation.
Nobody gives a shit.
I'm going to Florida. I'm going to better weather. I'm ditching you guys and I'm going down to the beach where I will not participate with anybody who wants to do anything with me down there. Catch me on the beach. Catch me outside. That's where we're at down there. $7.99 per pound Gulf shrimp yourself. You know what I mean? It's so cheap down there. You go to Detweiler's, you get a nice grass-fed steak, you get the scrimps, you get the scallops, you get all this, you get all of it, the whole thing. And you don't ever go out. Don't ask me to go to lunch during the fucking beach time. No, because that's 4 hours out of my day with the kids who won't even eat this shit anyway. Where the server's like, hey, I just got fucked up last night. I'm going to try to do my best to get your order. I don't even want to be here. And I'm like, neither do I. So I don't know why we signed up for this. So,
dude, when you go on vacation and and not even a vacation, we talked about this before, a day at the beach.
Day at the beach.
Why the fuck are we running around?
I don't know.
Like, why are we packing up for a thing and then packing up to leave that thing and then to go do another thing? And the transition time eats your whole fucking day up.
I know, it does.
Why are we doing this?
People don't understand how much going out to lunch takes the whole day.
Yeah, it does.
With little kids, like, okay, but it's 12 o'clock now. We pack up. We get there. We sit down. It's 1. We get the food. We get done. Now it's 2.
At least.
At least. I'm going fast. At least.
Yeah.
All right. The kids, assholes the whole time. No one even enjoyed it because the kids didn't even eat anything.
Nope. You spent
So
$100.
then we get back to the house. It's 2:30. All right. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, okay, we're going back to now it's 3. Okay, Everyone just left. Now it's 3. You're like, okay.
Hold on, I got to poop.
Yeah. Now it's like, okay, so they're going back to their place. We did the lunch. It's already 3 o'clock. Ellie goes to bed in 3 hours. So I guess we'll just hang out here now.
Or
I'll get ready to make a dinner. It's like, or we'll save all those hours and we'll just go out to the beach and never leave and bring some food.
Pack a lunch. You know what's the best thing? The best lunch on the beach is when you cook it yourself on the beach.
Yeah.
Especially around here, we could drive on to our beaches. And when you bring all your shit, your grill, your mini Blackstone, whatever you have, right, in a cooler with a bunch of cool shit in it, and you can make a pretty phenomenal lunch. You know, one time we made
a cooler full of cool shit.
We made chicken fried rice on the beach one time.
Did you really?
Yeah. Like, why would you leave that to go to a fucking restaurant?
To eat the same shit.
Worse.
It's all U.S. foods and American foods.
Yep.
It's all the Cisco.
No.
It's all the same
But instead,
shit.
We made chicken fried rice on the beach in
nice.
bare feet, in bathing suits, while we fished, while we swam, while the kids can run around while they're waiting on the food.
And you don't have to get in an argument with your spouse because who's going to keep getting out of the booth to change their little kids?
God.
So,
my gosh.
And she's going to be like, I would just love to eat my meal. Can you get them? I'm like, that's why we don't go here. That's why we don't go out. I don't know why we keep doing the same thing. Did you think they were going to be different this time?
Dude. Yeah.
what?
Would you think they're going to be
They
different
take
this
like
time?
that good experience they're having at the place before. Like, okay, we'll continue it at the restaurant. I'm like, that's not how, no.
That's not real life. The universe don't work that way, honey.
Yeah. So, I like to sit on the beach and, I actually had to look up for Florida. First off, I looked up for the fishing license.
Mm-hmm.
They have a 7-day visitor's pass. It's $57. Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they definitely want Floridians to fish and hunt. They have like lifetime licenses.
Delaware used to.
Did they?
Yep.
Well, they have this and a couple gold packages that are like 5 years and such. But they're like they said on there, like, we want you to do this. We're going to give these away half off.
Hell yeah.
I was like, damn right.
Wow.
So I got to look real quick. If they have a non-residence lifetime, I would buy that. Done.
If you go there enough.
Yeah.
And you plan on retiring?
Yeah.
Well, I guess if you're retiring.
I'm going to retire the whole East Coast. But yes, definitely down in Florida. So I need to look up today on the rules of grilling on the beach. Because that, like, if I can grill with just like a little, I'll go down there, I'll buy a Smokey Joe for $20.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it there. I'll just fucking buy it and leave it there for someone else to be like, oh shit, like some homeless guy. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Then I can grill all the food as we sit on the beach,
Oh, dude.
Because I can go right to Detweiler's. I'm bringing my moped. I can go get the food, have it there, and then we can just sit on the beach because the food solves all the problems that everyone having to leave.
Yeah.
Because I'm not used to that. When my parents used to take me down the beach, we never left.
Oh, you pack sandwiches?
We packed. My mom packed all the food for anything. We never stopped at a Chick-fil-A for food.
Nope.
She was like, she made chicken salad sandwiches during the back.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Chicken salad. God damn, were you rich? I feel like bologna and cheese. Fuck.
She always made that. That's why I cooked today. She always taught me how to cook. Yeah, chicken salad sandwiches. That's where the love started.
Dude, the goal for me on vacation, how can we make the days as long as possible? That's my goal. I don't want to fill it with shit. So we're like, damn, that went by quick. I don't want that.
Yeah.
That's how can we make it as long and drawn out and as boring as possible? Maybe boring's the wrong word because that's not boring to me. That's fun and relaxing, especially if you're on the beach where the kids really can't hurt themselves. You got to watch them run into the water. Your kid's a little bit younger, but they can just play in the sand and do their thing.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean, play in the suds. And
one of the beaches that we'll go to, well, the one in front of the condo will do the most. But there is one down the road. It's called Sharktooth Beach.
Okay.
It's Persimmon Beach. And you can find, just like clamming, you just rake and you can find a little black
shark teeth.
Fossilized shark teeth.
That's crazy.
All day. And if you go out a little further, you can find like megalodon, like fucking like big boys.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like cool. Awesome. That's the whole time they're sitting there like this. I'm like, so anything that like helps my wife, like not have to hold a kid.
Right.
So Elliot this year, she should be able to play, make it fully swim.
Yeah.
And that Gulf water isn't like, it's not like here on our water where you have these big crashing waves.
That's what I was going to say too. It's just water, right?
It's just water.
Yeah, make you a little ripple.
Most oceans, just water.
But, and you could walk out really far and it's fairly shallow.
Yeah, for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember being in Biloxi, Mississippi.
It's not like the Bay, at least the where we're at.
Yeah. I remember being in Biloxi, Mississippi and going to the beach when I was like in 5th grade. And so it's on the Gulf. And I remember you could walk out 100 yards and you would only be like to your knees. It just was the most shallow. And it was something so foreign to me.
Yeah.
And again, there was no waves because here it's like, you really only got like, unless you can swim.
You break your fucking neck out there real quick.
You can break your neck and you go out 30, 40 yards.
You step off the beach, it will drop down 4 foot.
Sometimes
if
it's
they
like
just
that.
dredged back in the day to warn people like, hey, it is like 6 foot deep as soon as you step into the water.
Or a storm comes through and it erodes that big trench that you where the waves have beat the shit out of it. You know what I mean? For 2 days or 72 hours, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, you got that big trench and you'll come back up. But no, you're right. You could get fucked up, especially if you're a little kid. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I've told the story before. I had to stop dads from pushing kids on boogie boards. Like, hey, man, you're dumping your son on the sand. There's no water there, you know? Very excited for Florida. It's just like just going from winter. Like, we made this a goal. Like, one time a year, we got to go to warm weather during the winter. Today I woke up when it was super cold. I was out here, naked, just hanging out. I was like, damn right. Like I'm like, it's finally getting really cold here. And I'm like, I'm now going to Florida.
You're looking forward to the warm weather in Florida?
Yes.
Even though we just left warm weather?
Yes.
Okay. Do you prefer warm weather?
I think it's very healthy to have all the seasons.
I agree.
All the seasons help me miss and enjoy the seasons.
Yeah. Cause just as soon as you're tired of the August heat, you're looking forward to fall.
Yeah.
And then in the wintertime, when you're tired of the fucking gray, super cold February, spring's right around the corner.
And I don't know if that's just like a Northeast corridor kind of like.
It's got to be.
Kind of feeling because there's different times of the season. Like there's a time when it's dead ass winter.
Yeah.
And it's quiet out and it's snowed a foot.
Yeah.
And it's super quiet out there.
You love that.
And I'm just getting I'm like, all right, man, it's like 4 a.m. I'm like, I'm going to get up. I got to work. Get out. It's quiet. Like, just like wrenching, like just getting the trailer on. Like, it's quiet.
It's a nice little motion you're making with your arm there, the camera.
And, so it's like, I don't know. I enjoy that. I enjoy I'm about to battle like depression. Winter depression, but I've always looked at it as a reflection period. It's always given me a nice reflection period on what has happened before we got there because it's the end of the year. Most of the year has a nice fun time. It's spring. It's the start, when I made it through the tennis season. Then we get into summer, we're out there boating, have fun. And then we're going through the hunting season now. So then we get dead ass winter. You're like, all right, you're looking back. So like you're looking back at what you did and then you're adjusting and making the new plans for when that first year, like this spring, I'll make sure I'm on. The boat will be ready. All my tackle gear will be ready. Like we're not going to miss a fucking day. Well,
it's just like nature. Yeah. Nature's grows in the spring. Thrives all in the summer.
Yeah.
fall, your season of harvest, whether you food, animals, your self, like reflection thing, the wintertime, everything, the bad shit or the old shit or the no good shit dies, goes away, and then there's new stuff again in the springtime.
Yeah.
Right? So it's the same thing.
Well, speaking of new shit, let's get into our topic of the day, and that is regret.
Is that what it is?
Pretty
Regret?
much.
I didn't know it was regret, but talk to me.
Well, Jerry and I were, figuring out the topic for today, and I just said, honestly, we were talking about, doing stuff for the kids, and I was like, man, I have been a shitty dad. I've been just yelling at the kid. I'm like, what do they call it? What did I say it was? Like burnout dad.
Dad burnout.
Dad
burnout.
And that is like been.
And then dad guilt.
That follows
the guilt that follows that.
So, Macon has been acting shitty.
Yeah.
He's just been shitty.
Yeah.
It's crazy to say, but he's just been shitty.
All kids are shitty sometimes.
Man, like last night, so I put him to bed most every night because it takes a lot.
Okay.
And I got the most patience for it. So Candace puts Ellie to bed, and then it's my job to do Macon. And it's also like, it's so much to get him to sleep that eventually I'll keep telling her, like, at some point I'm like, hey, you're going to have to do one of these nights because, like, I need a break just so I don't, like, beat up everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So last night I was just super tired, and I actually just went to sleep around, like, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And she handled that, and I heard her scream out at one point. He didn't get to bed till 11 o'clock.
Jesus Christ, man.
11 o'clock. This mom, and then he gets like crazy asshole-ish.
Because he's tired.
So he turns into like an absolute asshole. And, but I do find myself like, I hate now at this point right now, I hate when they cry. I hate when they whine. Like they do like the purposeful.
The whining,
it goes in my ear to my frontal lobe, and I just get angry. Like I cannot stand it anymore. Like I've heard too much of it.
Yep.
So like I yell at them, and I'm like, this week I'm like, I have been yelling more than ever. Like, and I feel bad afterwards because they're both now, even my daughter at 2, she understands. Like I upset her.
Yeah.
And she's been so sweet. Like I come into the house, she asked me like, hey Dad, how's your day? I'm like, when did you learn how to say that?
Yeah.
And, So, I'm sitting there yelling at them and I feel all the guilt afterwards. I'm like, okay, am I going to be the dad that he remembers just yelling at him? Am I balancing it well enough? Sometimes I think, am I balancing it well enough that he gets a little bit of anger? That way it's good for sports. Well, it gets a little bit of fire in him, but then I'm going overboard.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, because he'll be like, you're making me sad. I'm like, you're making your own decisions.
Yes.
You're making your own decisions.
Yeah.
I don't want to do any of this.
Yeah.
Like we'd all love to go to bed. You just go to bed.
Yeah.
And I'm so I'm raising my voice at him and eventually yelling at him. Even my daughter, I'm yelling at her like they're little assholes sometimes.
There's a balance too, though, because as a parent, especially as a dad, you have to be the bad guy. You got to be okay with being the bad guy.
It is.
Yeah, and it's hard. It's not easy. Well, we don't want that, but you have to be it sometimes. And then there's got to be standards set in place. And like, if this, then that, and you're in a growing pain right now with Macon that he's going to have to understand that if this, then that. And if you don't do this, then Dad's going to be an asshole. But then if you do, we're not. And this isn't because I'm mean. This is just because like, hey, you need to go to sleep.
Yeah,
it's unhealthy to not, for you to only get 6 hours of sleep.
That motherfucker almost got hit by the car yesterday.
Yeah.
And then guess what? This motherfucker ran away from me again after wrestling practice.
Yeah.
Like I'm at the wrestling door.
Dude.
He's all the way up at the start of the parking lot. Just runs away and then it's like inching his way towards the curb, and there's a car there. Like, what the fuck is this kid doing? I'm like, what the fuck is this kid doing? And so like, I just grab him by his arm. Then he does the flops, and I'm just like dragging him to get him to the car.
Yeah.
And like, I'm trying to explain to him, like, what the fuck are you thinking? Like, stop. So you saw this morning. He did not run away from me this morning.
No, he was behind you.
He was behind me this morning.
I was wondering if I thought it was like yesterday morning because of what happened.
Yeah.
I felt bad like yelling at me.
No, fuck no.
But it wasn't out of anger. It was like it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Like when you see a kid running into the street, and it was enough he wasn't going to get hit, but it's still the instinct of oh, fuck. You
Yeah.
know?
He was like, I didn't know. So I didn't
Yeah.
know. I'm like, yeah. So we made up a new saying. If you don't know, don't go. That's like, somehow we came up with that last
Hey,
night.
man, it's a good
But
trigger.
I felt bad as shit. I'm like, he just had a wrestling experience. And now I'm out here in a parking lot yelling at him again.
Yeah.
I'm
But
like,
that's how he's going to learn
I
now.
know. I'm just like, I'm tired of being a bad guy. So I'm like, we're supposed to go to Florida. Hopefully we go to Florida and we can all just chill the fuck out.
Yeah. It won't.
Dad
happen that
guilt.
way.
Dad guilt.
I mean, but it's, you're not doing wrong. You're not
Yeah.
doing bad. It's just, you have to be like, sometimes I'm going to have to be the bad guy. And this is just the way it is. And if you don't,
yeah.
and he doesn't learn, then those problems only get worse.
Yeah.
Then you got an 11, 12, 13-year-old that does the same shit that nobody likes. Now nobody likes your kid because your kid's a dickhead. And they're like, nobody wants that. So put in the shitty work now, and then the result later on. That's the whole point of raising humans, right? We're just little maniacs. We don't know what we don't know, you know. But the dad guilt thing is real. And whether you yell at your kid, and sometimes when you yell at your kid, and it's not, you didn't need to. Like, you know, you're like,
there's
that
plenty of
wasn't-
that.
that
Because
wasn't really
Candace will look at me
needed.
like, come on, there's a better way to go about this. I'm
Yeah.
like,
And
so you're looking at yourself, you're like, God, I got to change myself so much. with
And
these
most
kids.
of the time in those scenarios, it's really just because you're frustrated at something else, not the kid. It's not the kid that set you
Yeah, it
off.
can
It
be,
was
yeah.
some other shit that is already inside you that you're maybe you're short fused or you're overtouched. You know, like I know that's kind of Pam's thing is because she's a teacher and she deals with kids all the time that are constantly saying her name, constantly asking for her attention. 100 and something kids, 150 fucking kids, whatever she has. So at the end of the day, when you've just been completely exhausted of like what everybody wants my attention, everybody is wanting to touch
Everybody
me, talk
wants
to
a
me,
piece of my
and,
shit.
Yeah, and then when our kids do it, but our kids haven't been with you all day, and like she feels bad about that, right? Because like they don't, wasn't really directed at them. I need to do a better job at, but I think us recognizing it is good. Because it's just
It
human
is
nature.
good. It just feels sucky. I'm like, am I being a sucky dad right now?
Yeah, it does
No,
feel
I'm like, I
sucky.
know I'm not. I do everything with these kids.
Yeah.
I go out of my way to make sure that we.
Yeah, you're
it's almost like sometimes yesterday I was thinking, I was like, do I do too much with these motherfuckers? Do I, like,
I don't think that's possible.
you know, it's like, do I do too much? I'm just with them too much. Like, I'm just like, I need a break from them. Like, am I doing too much with them that we're always all together all the time?
I think the balance of that is letting your kids play with other kids, is like letting them go with other kids and learn that way too, is like the balance. Yeah. But when they're with you, they should be with you. And I think taking them out, like hunting,
we're going hunting tonight
and outdoors. And I'm taking Charlotte tonight.
Thank goodness it's cold. We should see some stuff tonight.
I think so. I really do. I really want to take her to my spot in Townsend, but who's been beating the hell out of that spot.
You said that she doesn't like, she don't want to shoot.
She doesn't want
you said she likes coming there for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's nice.
I mean, she
Yeah,
does it for
great.
me because she's like, Dad's asking me to go hunting.
Yeah, that's pretty
And
nice.
like, I asked her the other day, I said, hey, you ready to go? We always do it every year. You ready to go on daddy-daughter hunt? And she's like, yeah, I guess so. And she's getting to that like preteen age too, where she's kind of like, and I said, well, what day do you want to go? Because she's also loves school. There's shit in school she does not want to miss. And she's like, well, I got this
What a
day, this
nerd.
day. Big time nerd. this day. And then, so this is last weekend. And I was like, so Thursday's good? And she's like, I think so. And I'm like, okay, well, you pencil me into your schedule and I'll come pick you up. So I'm going to have all our stuff. I'm going to have some snacks packed. I'm going to have our hot chocolate ready. Going to have her, nice warm. She has complete overalls, like whole bodysuit. Have her ready to go. If we don't go to our Townsend spot, that's where I have the heated blind. I'm probably just going to go buy another Mr. Buddy heater today, just because, you know, I want her to be comfortable and we enjoy it. But no, to get to your point, she has no interest in shooting anything, but she likes me shooting stuff. We were kind of making jokes today, and, you know, I was like, you want me to shoot something tonight? And she's like, yeah. Not in like an evil way, but just like she wants to be there for the success too, right? So if we're out, and I only want to shoot a buck. If we're out and we see a doe and she's like, are you going to kill that? Then I'll do it. Whatever she wants me to do, I'll do it. It doesn't matter to me.
I'm hoping a freaky ass buck walks out tonight, man. There's been some, by our area to walk around.
Yeah. You're in a really good area for big bucks.
I know. When we had originally looked at that property, I said, hey guys, I just looked at the zone. This is the number one zone in Delaware right now.
Yeah.
Like for, deers.
I told you, Lee, who's right there across from me, he kills.
Where exactly is he? Is he touching our property?
No, I think he's across the street.
He's across the street.
I'm fairly
behind
certain.
those houses.
I'm fairly certain. He sent me a screenshot
Okay.
And let me see.
Have you ever noticed there's not a podcast where Jerry hasn't been on his phone at some point?
I mean, I'm trying. So tell me what that is. Is that one of yours? One of them's yours. One of them's not. Or maybe he was talking about. So I'll have to go back and look at the context.
We're not that close to those. We're right near those.
So I guess these are across the street and down the road.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway.
I was hoping he was like right there, and I was like, I know I can know who is in the box.
I
know Glenn had reached out and like he was hunting a spot that was near one of the box stands of one of the farmers.
Okay.
And it was kind of like he was like waiting for the moment where a guy would like acknowledge him so we could be like, hey, we're not like, crazy. Hey, how you doing?
We're here. Yeah.
What's up? You know what I mean? Like, so, I don't think they really care about us.
I had the property that adjoins one of our farms, never got it's sold now. It's actually sold to one of them fucking solar panel farms, so probably some China company, whatever. But the guy that used to own it, he barely hunted it. It was just a piece of woods, right? And I knew he had a stand not far across the property line from my stand. And so as a crow flies, we're somewhat close to each other.
Yeah.
So, and he knew where I was, but we can't see each other. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so one day, I'm sitting there and hear him shoot super fucking loud. And I end up talking to him on the phone like the next day. And he said, I saw this. It was this 4-point buck walking towards you. And he said, I didn't want to shoot it, but I shot it because I thought you would. I'm like, dude, I wouldn't have shot that. Like, he's like, I remember thinking to myself, I really don't want to shoot this thing, but I know if I don't, he's going to kill him anyway.
That was a big case of FOMO there.
And big time. But we got on the same page there. I was like, dude, I'm not going to shoot those bucks. Like, I'm going to let them.
So you belittled him in the woods. I wouldn't shoot that kind of buck. Okay, you're a rookie.
That was just his way of justifying him shooting a small deer, and then to himself, so he can go like, I mean, going back to what I said a couple weeks ago, like, who gives a shit? Shoot what you want. I don't care. This is what I want. Yeah. If that's what you want, I'm happy for you, buddy. Yeah. Good for you.
I hunt with kids.
I don't care.
They're like, you going to pull up on that? I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, it'll probably get hit by a car or something. Who fucking knows? You know what I mean? They have short lives.
Nature has a way of just reproducing these things.
It is crazy.
They do
respawn.
We cannot kill enough of them. There's more deer in this country right now than when Christopher Columbus came here. It's a actual fact. And it's only getting worse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We can't
it's getting worse. Fuck them deer. Hey, so what was your regret story?
The dad guilt?
Yeah.
So back probably in the summertime, right around the beginning of football, Jerry had said, hey, I don't want to wrestle this year. And I'm not a wrestler. That's not my sport. I don't really care. I have no stock in that, right? But I do see what wrestling does. It really builds character. It really builds hard work ethic. It helps you understand your body for other sports. You know, there's a lot of great things.
I think it's a good defensive weapon you take for your life.
And there's that too, right? There's like, hey, if I need to defend myself, I can.
Yeah, shit goes to the ground, I'm comfortable.
Yeah, I'm comfortable being wrapped up with another human.
Yeah.
So he says, I don't want to, and he said, I want to hunt with you every weekend. Okay, that's great, whatever. Because if anybody's never been to a wrestling tournament with a child, it's fucking god awful.
They're long. I remember them as an individual. They were always long. I'm like,
it's long? All day.
How many schools are here?
Dude, all day. You don't know your heats. You got to wait. You got,
I'll be in my bag sleeping. I'll be over there in my bag sleeping.
Yeah. So it's like, and then taking a kid going like, hey, all right, get warmed up, ready to go. Cool. You go wrestle. Now you stop. Then you have an hour and a half. Then you got to get you warmed up again. Then go wrestle again. Right. So anyway, it's Ryan Hogate. So he said he didn't want to wrestle. All right, great. As it got closer, I kind of wanted him to for the other reasons. Mm-hmm. And I said, how about this? How about you just go to practice and wrestle and have fun with your buddies and get better at wrestling? You don't have to do tournaments. If you want to, you can. If you don't, you don't. No big deal. And then we got to wrestling, and I said something about like, well, do you want to do the tournament that's in Smyrna, the big one that's at the high school? I was like, it's an open tournament. You probably do really well at it. He's like, maybe, whatever. So anyway, goes out to wrestling, first night, crushes it. Does great, wrestles with an advanced kid, doing really good, holding his own. It was phenomenal. And I was really impressed, especially the first night of a whole year off, and he's right back to it, right? The second practice, he was off. Other kid was whooping his ass, and he kind of he just didn't look like he was in it. Now, wrestling is a sport. If you're not all in, just like football, if you're not all in, you can't do it. It's dangerous. If you're going to half-ass it, you're going to get hurt. It's a dangerous thing to do, so you have to be all in on it. So I kind of, I don't want to say, I didn't yell at him, but I kind of dug into his ass a little bit.
Yoked him out of practice?
What are you doing, man? Why are you acting like this? Why are you wrestling soft? We don't do this, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, I told you I didn't want to do it. And then it just fucking hit me like a ton of bricks. Cause he did fucking tell me. Then I start looking backwards. We all know it's easy to connect the dots looking backwards. All right, he told me he didn't want to. He told me the reasons why. I said, why don't you do this? And then I said, why don't maybe we'll do this? So it was me pushing that on him.
Yeah.
And then the guilt just hits you like a ton of bricks. You feel like a piece of shit. And because my first thought is, I'm putting an identity on him that he doesn't want. And that just fucking hurt. It hurt big time. So I'm like, okay, you're right. I should have listened to you. I'm sorry. He wants to do a lacrosse clinic through the winter. He loves lacrosse. He wants to get better at it. So I can't knock on that. He wants to go hunting with me as much as possible this winter. I can't knock on that either. Now you're at the age where you can go. It's easy. You're potty trained. You can be quiet. You can push through the cold. All those things. So that was like a really recent shitty feeling, and I felt terrible about it. But
I did like the idea of at least just go to practice. So if you change your mind a year from now, at least you didn't lose. Get behind them.
And and I don't know if he's just saying this, but he said I still want to wrestle someday. Okay. But just right now, I don't want to do that.
I know that feeling. I had that Macon sucked last night.
Yeah,
dude, he was.
They're always going to have.
Well, it was weird because we get there early so that he can run around a little bit. And then right before practice started, he came over and he hugged me and said, I love wrestling. I was like, great, bud. I was like, that's fucking phenomenal. I even texted Candace. And then he's running, or they're doing the warm-ups. He's running around. He stops to try and look for whoever, and then he gets run over, right? So then he's over there on the wall crying a little bit, and I don't go over there. I always just watch let's see how he handles this. The other coaches are trying to talk to him, and eventually they walk over. He's like, he won't talk to me. I was like, all right. So I go to talk to him, and then Jerry really helped me out and got back out there. But the rest of the practice, he was very he doesn't have the aggression yet. He doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And so, but for a while, I thought he was I was like, this fucking asshole just standing there. He's been a horrible partner. He's not in it now. One little fucking bump in the road, and this motherfucker don't want to play now.
Yeah, that is extremely normal for young wrestlers, though.
Well, and then he came over at the end of practice. So I'm texting Cancel, he's being an absolute pussy right now.
Yeah,
she's like, how's it going? He's an absolute pussy right now. She's like, he's 4. I'm like, I don't know. He's
dude,
you know what I mean? It's he's being an absolute pussy right now.
Men are like that. Women are like that.
I'm thinking whoever's parents this partner is probably looking at my kid like he's not even helping our kid get better. I'm like, what a fucking bad partner right now. Yep. Anyway, he comes over. I'm like, bud, what happened tonight? You said you loved it. And I didn't bring that up. I was going to bring that up. I was like, let's not squash the fact he did love it. I was like, what happened? You weren't really into it. He's like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, that is understandable. You don't know what to do. That is fine. So he's not comfortable making a quick decision.
But that's why we go to practice, so you do know what to do.
And I'm going to practice with him at the house too, so that he can get better.
A lot of times, parents that have problems, it's not a problem, a hurdle to get over. That helps. Yeah. Like the practicing.
Yeah. And then I got to just remember, okay, we're just building the fact that he wants to show up here. Who gives a rat's ass? He's only 4. I didn't even start wrestling that young.
Yeah. No.
I'm like, that doesn't even matter.
And the thing that's kind of, you got to be careful with, in my opinion, with wrestling is you can get burnt out from wrestling pretty fast because it's constant. It is. Dude, tournaments start now. The wrestling season just started, but there's tournaments every weekend still. Yeah. So if you want to go, you can go. And 4 months of that, 4 months of fighting and practicing and getting beat up and physical and all that shit, it will take its toll.
Especially a thing we're not going to let's say not like, I feel the movement from a lot of parents, like we're not going to specialize in wrestling. We're going to do all the sports.
Yeah.
And my son may also, I think about this, like when I was younger, my dad pushed me a lot for football. I don't even know why he didn't push me for wrestling because he was a junior Olympic wrestler. I don't know
really?
why. I don't know why he didn't push me.
Maybe that's why. Maybe because he knows what goes along with it.
And, yeah, I don't know why he didn't do any of that. And so I'm thinking like, all right, I do think honestly for Wright's genetics, for how we are, I'm like, man, we are kind of an oddball with shit. Like, I think sometimes we're best probably with weirder sports. Like he loves gymnastics. He's pretty fucking, like we did an evaluation. I was like, they did evaluation over there. I was like, did he even pay attention to get done the evaluation? I was joking with her because he's like, he's all over the fucking place. He's like, he did okay with that part. She was like, but he's like really, really strong. I'm like, yeah, he's pretty cock diesel. And, but he's like, cause he's up there on the fucking ropes, like, rings like this, like, Dad, look.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there swinging like this. I'm like, hell yeah, dude.
I know.
But I'm like, man, maybe I just don't want him doing I don't know how I was talking to, Krista Bivens, I was like, I love this gymnastic for building a core for sports. I don't know how long we can do it for before it comes a little too feminine. I'm like, you know what I mean?
Look, there's not much things out there that are better for you than gymnastic movements.
Dude.
I mean, anything on the rings, and a pull-up is a gymnastic movement.
Yeah.
You're right? And it takes a lot of strength and stability and all those good things to do like a handstand.
Yeah, those things are fun.
You know what I mean? And it's going to transfer to other stuff.
Yeah.
And he'll find his way. But.
Also, like, I didn't know as a kid, like, maybe he, like little Jerry wants to go you hunting every day. It's like, they could be college fishermen.
If that's his sport, that's fine with me.
But they can. There is an outlet for that. They can go to college for fishing.
Yeah.
They can be actual outdoorsmen. So I'm thinking like, okay, maybe he will just take part of maybe just being in outdoors.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll be in gymnastics. Maybe it won't be like football, like the cores, like football, wrestling as a main focus, like mine were, which so I talked to myself on that, like, just remember, like, he's got his own path. And if it's an alternative sport, that's kind of, I think sometimes like that might be the new wave of the Wrights because sometimes I think we're meant for that.
So I'm glad you said that because that's the other thing that I've kind of coming to the realization as Jerry's into more and more sports and he is athletic. He's active. He's not a tablet kid. You know what I mean? He likes all these things outside, dirt bikes, four-wheelers, fishing, hunting, shooting, sports. He always wants to have a ball in his hand or something, right? Working out. He likes working out. I'm a football player. That's where my heart is. And I'm like, I want him to do it. And I'll admit, like he wanted to do it. If he said he didn't want to play football, I never let him because again, if you don't want to do it, it's dangerous. Yeah. So, but in your mind, you have a picture like, oh, my kid's going to grow up doing these things, but you have to remind yourself like they are going to have their own path. Yeah. They're going to find something that's probably not going to have anything to do with what you did. And that's great because he's doing his own thing. And I genuinely am happy and hope that happens. Like I'm seeing with lacrosse.
Yeah.
I didn't play lacrosse. I didn't even know what the fuck how you played lacrosse until last year. Just watching. I learned last year wrestling. I learned with him through 2 years wrestling. How do you even get points in wrestling? I don't know. I learned all that shit. So I like seeing him take his own path. You're starting to see him kind of gravitate towards certain things that I think he'll hold on to. Pam said last night. She said, like Jerry's like pretty good shot with things like target shooting. She was like, maybe that's his thing. She's like, why don't you just like have him shoot more? Cause he likes it. He likes the challenge of it. He's disciplined to do it enough. He wants to be good at it. So he works harder at it.
Do you find yourself as a parent, I do this, is find yourself like, what your kid could be pro at? Do you find yourself thinking about like, you're thinking about sports, like what could be a pro in? Like, what do you got to go all the way with? And I'm like, where does that come from? Like,
that's just a man. That's a solid dad move.
It's like, you're like, you got to play football, man. You got to go pro. I'm like, I'm thinking like, why is that even a thing? Why do I think like that?
Cause it's most likely not going to happen.
Yeah.
And, it would be great, but
especially football. Football is such a, at the right spot at the right time where there's so many other ways of something that you can take and you can only do football. Like I can never do football again. I can't even take that skill with me anywhere other than like maneuvering humans and shit around and having, but there's a lot of sports that teach that. And also, we always talk about like at least flight or flight. Like I have an instant, like I'm good to go. Like with pops, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
no, it's the shit you learn along the journey.
Yeah. But like there's other sports, like I can still play tennis, I can still do golf. There's things I could keep doing, know? So some of these sports, I'm like, is it even worth it? Some points, like, does it even matter? Some of these you can't even take with you.
I think football is one of the sports that everybody should play, but it's not for everybody.
Like I say, that Oklahoma, forcing your kid to get in there and make a decision, like, are you going to be a pussy or not? This is right here. You get to feel it right now. Like, how are you going to make decisions for the rest of your life?
And I'm glad Jerry has experience in like drills like that, Oklahoma drills and any variation of them where you're just like, hey man, we're going to run into the gauntlet
because they're extreme.
Going to happen.
It sounds simple, but they're very extreme when you're a kid. They're very extreme. Like, hey, that kid on the other side is going to try to run you the fuck over.
Yeah.
And with the pads, it still hurts a lot. even if you're the one giving the hit, like it still hurts a lot, especially when you're a kid.
Yeah.
It still hurts. It hurts a lot.
I remember seeing the first couple of games this year, and the majority of our team was first year players, and the boys talking about things hurting.
Yeah.
Like, man, this hurts, that hurts. Got bruised. I'm getting hit here, like during the game. And I had explained to them, like, this isn't practice. These guys want to beat you. You want to beat them. Now we're battling all those things we work for. So when you get lumps and bumps and little pains and you get, a helmet to your arm and it's uncomfortable, but you don't stop for that. We have to work through that. We still have a job to do. We're going to work through those things because you're right. It does hurt. And I've had to go through growing pains with Jerry on that. Like I don't want to say it's supposed to hurt, but it's supposed to hurt. It's a part of it.
And you want to see them get through that.
Yeah. You have to look, man, I know your elbow's hurting. We're going to have to work through it now. Your team needs you. Are you going to do it or not?
Also do Macon and I, do we just, and Ellie, like, God, we talk about our sons too much. Look, man, what the fuck is in here? What the fuck is that?
How's there even a fly and it's freezing outside?
I tell you, man,
we do talk about our sons a lot.
And also,
it's really just because my daughter is so perfect that
my daughter is only 2. She's just now getting in. So I'm very curious to see what she gets into.
Yeah,
I do. Now I will admit I do pre-expose her to saying, like, I'm like, you want to go hunt? She's like, yeah. You want to go get deer? Yeah, I want to go get deer. Yeah. She brings up to me, she wants to go hunt too. I'm like, it would be awesome if she gets in a hunt. I always think like maybe what if it's not I just ask myself these questions to see how I would do with it. And I say, what if they're not going to play those sports? What if they want to be alternative kids? Like, hey, Dad, why don't you just invest in a nice boat? Like, we really want to learn how to fish, like big game and like be really big outdoorsmen. And that's like our thing. I'm like, okay.
So Charlotte was that kid with us because I was a athlete. Pam was a athlete, ball sports. Charlotte was not. And she gave it a real try. Like she played softball for 4 years. And then one day it was just like, this isn't for me. I don't like it. I don't want to do this anymore. So I'm like, all right, well, you did it for 4 years. It's not like you tried for a second and stopped. Like
she knows.
There was a legitimate effort there, right?
Yeah.
And the older she got, the less interested she got in it. Now soccer, she tried soccer very first thing ever when she was really young. And I know Candace is a soccer person. I fucking hate soccer. I hate it. I don't like it.
I don't like it.
And so Charlotte goes out.
I like soccer.
She's playing soccer at the Smyrna Clayton thing. She gets trucked, like trampled, right in the midst of everything. Cries, didn't like it. I don't want to go back out. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And leave.
Oh, talk about some dad guilt. Yeah, you helped her out the door.
Yeah.
You want to go? Let's go.
Let's go. So Pam, and I was like, yeah, you don't have to go back, whatever. And Pam's pissed at me. She's like, you just let her quit. You just allowed her to quit.
You did.
And 100%, maybe not 100%, but very likely that was me going like, I don't fucking like soccer. I don't want you to play it. So, all right, here's my out. Let's go. Right. I'll admit it. It's a shitty thing to do. It's terrible, but you know what? It was 9 years ago. So, 7, 8 years ago. But now, so she's gymnastics and cheerleading. And she loves competing in cheer. She loves gymnastics, learning handstands, flips, all the things, right? And me and Pam don't know what to do with that because we're like, we played sports. We played ball sports. So she's not a ball sport athlete.
Doing like the travel cheer, like all that?
So she wants to get into a competition cheer team. I am not doing it.
I don't first off, fuck wrestling. That schedule for that is worse.
It is worse. It is.
I'm not signing, I'm not signing my daughter up for that.
That's the only thing she wants to do. I don't have it in me to deny her that.
Yeah. So how's that conflict with other sports? So if you get two of your kids, because your kids, you get one that's talk about divide and conquer, because it's like two of those are very demanding.
It was like that in the football season. She cheered Pop Warner, but her games, 9 times out of 10 were at a different location and time as Jerry's. So I only got to see a few of Charlotte's games. Pam only got to see a few of Jerry's games because she had to take Charlotte to Del Mar and we were in Milford, and like you just can't do it. So, but she has zero interest in cheering for football games. She does it just to do it, but she likes the competition. She likes the competition routine, the dancing and all that stuff. She's just a girly girl, likes to do gymnastics, likes to cheer. So I'm going to keep feeding that to her. That's what she wants to do.
She wants to be a ground pounder.
Right.
A mat pounder.
Mat pounder. No.
Shout out Alan Cody, mat pounder. Come on.
But no, so I don't know where that goes, but that's one of those things where it's completely different than anything we ever did. There's not a single cheerleader in Pam's family. Fucking none of those girls. They're all softball, field hockey, fucking soccer.
Yeah.
They're all ball sport athletes, and they're all really good athletes, which is just surprising that Charlotte just has zero interest in it. Like, not whatsoever.
Yeah.
That's cool. Whatever you want to do.
That happens. My brother, I think he quit ball sports. I think once he was like 9th grade. I don't think he liked Smyrna. That was 9th grade. He came here in like 10th or 11th, but he went to track and did really well at that.
I think Charlotte could excel in that because she runs like the fucking wind. And
that's maybe where she'll find her wind.
Dude. So supposedly she's going to be doing that Girls on the Run 5K. And that gets me excited too because I try to tell her, I was like, bro, you got some long legs and you can run forever and you're fast.
Nice little consistent stride there.
Yeah. And she doesn't see it. She doesn't understand it. Like I think I told you, she won her pacer test in gym last year.
By a lot. It sounded like.
It was complete domination. Yeah. Like they ran out. It ended and she was still going.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got fired. I made sure to like get extra fired up for her. Like that's so great. You did that, and really praised her for it because I think she can excel. And I think if she she'll see as she grows up.
And especially it's all on her. So she don't have to wait for nobody. She don't have to,
No.
I think cross country, track and field, there's certain sports, even like tennis, that like they are better for people. I don't want to say nerds, but people that are like academically, they're just smart kids.
Yeah.
They do better with individual sports like that where they can.
It's their terms.
And they're in their own head, challenging them own selves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not having to worry about someone else. And I think that where it really lends itself.
Yeah. That's what I'm excited to see the next couple of years with Charlotte. And
that might be her new sport. You might be coming back around.
Yeah. And she also likes singing and fucking plays. Like she likes shit like that. Loves chorus, loves, to do like the little Christmas and spring plays that they do.
Hey man, I always loved, the Christmas choir at church. That was my favorite time of year, singing all them songs.
I can't remember if we talked about this an episode or two ago, and I'm sorry if we did. Have you ever went to the Smyrna, Christmas show? The high school choir and band?
No.
Oh, dude, I'm not kidding you. It's fucking incredible. Like the best thing they do all year long.
Really?
Yes. Go take Macon. You, Candace, Macon.
I didn't expect you to say any of that.
Dude, it's amazing. I'm telling you. Not going to lie. You know what I mean?
He liked it. He had a hot cup of cocoa in his hand with some marshmallows in it. Going just, we'll listen to
what the fuck is wrong with that?
Hey.
You know what I mean?
Paint your own picture.
You trying to say it's gay or something? Oh, shit.
Canceled. Yeah, it sounds gay.
No, but seriously, they do such a great job. They sing all them old classic Christmas carols. Yeah. Like very few, if any, like new school, we'll call religious neutral Christmas music. It's like the classics.
First off, there is no religious neutral, okay?
People try to make it,
it's fucking Christmas.
No, people try to
If
make it.
you want your own holiday, make your own holiday. This is Christ Mass, okay? I like how people are like, well, we just do the holiday.
No.
We just do for everyone. Like, there's no everyone. It is the one thing.
Yeah.
That's why it is the thing it is.
And that's the thing.
If you like the next day, maybe you want to have your own holiday, get your own holiday then. If you don't like this one. But it ain't everybody's.
Maybe you birth your baby in a manger and call it whatever you want.
Why do we always have to fit everybody into a thing and then like water down the thing that's happening? But it is its thing. It's called that because of what it is.
Yeah, so don't change it.
So don't change it. Maybe
then it's not that anymore.
What are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing?
You know what I mean?
What are we doing? But go do it. You'll like it. You'll appreciate the old school stuff.
I'm not going to do it.
You're not going to do it?
I'm not going to do it. Anyway, moving on. So we don't have any relationship topics or anything. We are moving pretty quickly since I'm going on vacation to leave you peasants here in the cold weather. So we don't really have any relationship or end of the stuff other than we would appreciate some more feedback, some more topics, and anything that you would like us to do. Also, we are working on apparel. So we do have, I pretty much have gotten the t-shirts done.
Oh, dude, we got to get them done.
Yeah, I got t-shirts done. The hat part is simple. You and I could actually go back on the site and pick out a particular camo that we do like. So pretty soon you guys will be able to buy Doodad's gear.
Or we'll give them away. We'll do some giveaways.
We'll probably do both. I mean, we can't afford it. The fuck?
Sorry.
We got earthquake coming. We can't afford to buy 500. I mean, they're not that cheap. You know, it's a lot of dough. So we'll have some giveaways, but we're going to start a shop. Yeah, we'll start an online shop where you guys can go in there, pick out. So we'll maybe do beer koozies, do the hats, do the shirts, probably some nice thongs, and then you get them for free if you send us a picture with you in them and that kind of stuff. Maybe some bras, you know what I mean? Some doodads, some dude bombs. What are we? Mom bombs. You know what I mean?
The double D's.
The double D's, mom bombs. Come on, you know what I mean? And then you guys can show us, you making the cookies with them. You know what I mean?
We are approaching cookie season. I can't talk today. Fuck.
I'm going to come out clean. First off, I'm going to come clean, okay? I gained 3 pounds from yesterday.
You fucking
I've been stuck at 238, and I self-sabotaged myself so bad yesterday.
I think that's what you needed to do.
It does help me to self-sabotage, and I go more. I do know that about myself. It does work. It is a nice mental trick, but I must have ate at least 12 fucking cookies yesterday. I stopped by Kent's store. I got the mud pie.
It's homemade too.
Fuck. Oh, that shit is so crack. It is so good.
God, I'm not a big dessert guy, but that shit that's
a good one, man.
I'll eat that. Whenever.
So yeah, and then I had a lot of cookies, and I'm gonna tell you what, man, it's like drinking alcohol. I was like, I don't feel good at all.
No, you wake up, your mouth's all dry.
I can't do that.
No. Food hangover is real for sure.
Also, I drove 45 minutes to the weed store to get some products, and I forgot my damn ID.
That sounds like Tom.
That sounds like a Tom move. Because I was like, you know what? I'll go to the weed store before I get out of Florida, get the little dog walkers and stuff, and drive there. I'm like, I don't even have my ID.
How far was you? Chestertown?
45 minutes. Yeah, I went to Centralville. So I'll have to go back there today or tomorrow to get. I'm going to the beach. I'm gonna have a couple chillers. You know what I mean?
You better.
You
want some mushrooms?
No, I don't want to try the mushrooms when I'm around my kids. For the first time.
That'll make you a better dad
at night.
Telling you, it'll make you. A better dad.
Next episode. Regret, reflection versus mushrooms. Better dad. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So, I took an edible one time and, it wasn't much. It was just a 10 milligram, which is honestly, it's plenty for me. And, that thing, I was like on the come up on that and it was hitting pretty hard. And, I was playing that alligator game I was telling you about with Jerry and Charlotte. And it's just, I can't remember what it's called. But it's just an alligator head with its mouth open, and it's all its teeth. And
hungry alligators.
It's like I'll push a tooth down, and then you go your turn, and you push a tooth down, and then I go. And at some point, you hit the right tooth, and it chomps down on your finger, right? So you don't know when it's coming. So imagine being high and playing that game with your kids, and just that anticipation, that little anxiety of like, is it gonna be me? I don't know. And dude, I never have laughed so fucking hard and the kids thought it was hilarious. And then I thought it was even more hilarious. And then the kids were laughing. So it's just like one of those things where I don't want to say weed makes you a better parent, but it was fun.
In that moment, it put down a lot of guards.
In that moment, we were having a fucking ball.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it way more because I thought it was hilarious. And just that, you already have a little bit of anxiety is the wrong word. But it's like good anxiety.
It helps bring the kid out in you.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you get the giggles and laughs.
Yeah,
and
you got 3 kids sitting there.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You got 3 kids sitting there.
Yeah.
So anyway, I hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving. Tom, why don't you take us out?
Yes, this will come out for Thanksgiving, so you guys have a great Thanksgiving out there, and I hope you get to maybe have somebody in your life that you haven't seen for a while. Maybe you're thankful that you got to see them. Maybe you run into, an old fling at a bar where you're just trying to warm your face up and you have an old conversation like, where did we go wrong, and you're thankful that maybe we didn't end up together. You never know. The night before Thanksgiving, that's the big night. Make that your night. Go out there and show off that booty. You know what I mean? Go out there and show the world what they missed out on. You know what I mean? And make sure the following day you get all the greens, you get all the turkey you want. I want you to balloon up. I want you to be stuck on the couch with all that good fat in you. Maybe throw a little edible in and just sink into the lazy boy. And then later that night, you go back out again. You meet maybe a nice guy that, is just wants to dance with you. You just get out there and you want to dance a little bit. And then then you guys go home to your, shitty apartment where the heat's barely working. You got socks everywhere. And then you can go, fuck yourself. So thanks. Happy Thanksgiving.